Harada effectively fell on his own sword. Homie fell on that sword hard to say, this is my fault. Good. Don't let it happen again. Because this is ridiculous. We're going to talk about the Harada tweet about the DLC situation and everyone's anger about, stages costing money that are $5 when they don't really tell us how much it's going to be. It was a little kind of, the way they went about this. Now, to be frank, I wasn't expecting the stage to be free at all, or to be included in the ultimate package that we all bought. I didn't buy it, actually. I got an upgrade, but I wasn't sure I was going to like the game enough. But then I did like it, and I got upgraded within the time frame, so I got all the things that everyone else got. But I didn't care what was in the package. I just wanted the characters. I didn't really care about the stages or know that stages were going to be a thing that was going to get included. Apparently, that was a thing in Tekken 7, where you'd get a new character, and then you'd also get a new stage when the stage came out. It was like one and the same. That sounds very cool. I did not expect that to be the case. Did not know that was the case, and therefore it was not outraged when we found out it was going to be $5, because they kind of signaled it with Lydia's stage. Lydia's stage literally was the beach stage. Like, it was already in the game. They had nothing to do. All they had to do was just make it dark and like sunset and make it pretty and add some moving characters in the background. But it was already an existing stage. So I figured that's why it was free, So yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be free or included in the bundle, nor was I expecting to get it, like, without some extra money. Mainly because they kind of told us when Lydia's stage was free, they were like, hey, Lydia's stage is free. This is not going to be normal. They were kind of priming the community then, but they were too vague and they weren't specific enough. And people are rightly so pissed off. And, I'm glad people are pissed off and are letting them know, because this is some bull. Now, is it bull because they shouldn't be trying to make money? No, that's not why it's bull. Of course they're going to try to make money. They're a company, they're an organization, they're a corporation. It's their job. It's the job to the execs is to make money and to squeeze us for all they can squeeze out of us. And to put some context into this, in Tekken 7, y'all had to pay for frame data. Think I forgot about that? I didn't forget about that. I remember everyone was paying for frame data. Stuff that should have been included in the game. And y'all bought it. And defended them for it, too. I'm not surprised Namco's behaving this way right now. And I'm glad the community's finally said, you know what? This is a line too far. This stage not being included with the character, that's too much. Paying for frame data that was already in the game, that already kind of existed, and everyone else kind of includes in their games already, and it's become the standard of all fighting games that exist currently. But it's not in our games, though. But they had to do work to put it in there. But they should have put it in from the beginning. You'll pay for that. But this is the. It's a little funny to me. Okay, it's a little funny to me. I'm so happy people are here though. I'm happy that people are outraged about this. That this is the moment. This was the thing where they said, you know what? No farther. You will not milk us anymore. You have to read between the lines, because they always need to have plausible deniability. Harada says, I understand that the community has some questions about the release of this stage DLC. As the person in charge of the Tekken franchise, I apologize. It was made clear from the beginning that the Year 1 Pass, Season Pass, would not include stages, but even so, when the Lydia DLC was released, the Seaside Resort stage was a free update, and in this case, even though the additional story mode, which should have had the highest development cost, is a free update. Oh shit! That's kind of, he's firing off a little bit there. I didn't catch that. But the stage was sold separately. Hold up. Okay, so here's what he's saying. He's saying the thing we gave you for free, that cost us more money to make. than this stage. Substantially so. I hypothesize that in the future, we're never going to pay for the stage again. And we might get this stage for free. And they might give the people who bought it, like, coins as an apology. I bet you that's what Harada's doing right now. He's working with the publisher side, the sales side, to be like, we're going to destroy our community if you charge them this. It's ridiculous. It's undefensible. If you want to charge them for something, it could have been story mode. But we already told them it's not going to be charged. So make money some other way. Maybe develop a thing. I don't know. Don't sell us spherical balls that are assets. We're not idiots. Okay. As a result, the release ended up being not well understood or accepted by everyone. At least the almost all community was expecting a pattern similar to that of Lydia. Yeah, I wasn't, but most people did. There are various reasons for this, but I will talk about the background. So this, as an individual, in order to increase transparency to some extent. Okay. The Tekken project is divided into two companies: a game development studio and a publisher that is responsible for game sales. At the time of the development and release of Tekken 7, the development and publishing companies were not separate. Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of huge. So, is this why we're having issues? Is this actually the issue? Let's continue. As some of you may know, I moved to the development side a few years ago and have been focusing on maximizing the quality of the content, tech, graphics, etc. The development side and the publishing side each have their own roles, and there are differences in the way they think and their responsibilities. I, who should be the one to act as... And there are differences in the way they think and the responsibilities. I, who should be the one to act as a bridge between the two, have not been able to properly participate in the publishing, sales, decision-making process As a result, I'm reading it exactly as it's written, chat. I think that there were parts of the process that did not take the Tekken community's opinion into account. I think get to chat. How big is the backlash on there? Pretty big. It's pretty big. I think I failed to create an organizational structure that would allow me to oversee things beyond my own position. One of my roles was to listen to the opinions of the community and reflect them not only in the content, but also in the out game. But I was clearly becoming passive, worrying about the relationship between companies and not exercising my role. From now on, I will review the structure and change it to one that values the community as it did in the past. Harada effectively fell on his own sword. Homie fell on that sword hard to say, this is my fault. I failed you. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen again. Good. Don't let it happen again. Because this is ridiculous. Yeah. Don't copy Sega. Okay? Don't do what Sega does. Not here. Don't do it. You don't want to do that. Okay? It's bad. Very bad. It's bad luck. So it's actually interesting to me how little Bamco seems to understand its own player base. Well, it's not Bamco. Harada gets it. The development team gets it. It's the corporation. It's the publishing side. It's the sales side. They're not devs. They're just business people who care about making money and profits. They don't care anything about the players, about sustainability, about impact of their thing. They don't care about that. They care about making money this next quarter. That's all. Development teams care a lot about their games and their communities. I know quite a few devs now, and they really do care about the games they make. They know when they're not going to be very good. They know that. They know when there are issues. And they have to, make magic out of crap a lot of the time. And they get fired. They get laid off. We've been seeing mass layoffs at our developments. For development studios, we see amazing studios who do great work get closed by their publishers. So, I know a lot of folks are really upset at Harada, or oftentimes yell at Harada or Murray about these monetization practices. Really, and I'm glad Harada did this in his tweet, made it super clear for folks who don't understand this, because a lot of folks didn't seem to be understanding this. I didn't even understand that there were two different separate publishing and development studios, and that they weren't unified anymore, and that they were unified. I always figured they were separate. It was news to me to find out in Tekken 7 they were together. That's wild. That's not typical, I don't think. But since we got the ball in the battle pass, it should be clear that Bandai is on a cash grab, and using Tekken 8 for it. Yeah, because some other gacha game failed. Like it was in some report or something. I forget what it was. Maybe in some investor report or something saying, yeah, this game really didn't do well, and we expected it to do well. Some gacha game, so now we're in the hole. We need Tekken has to do well. We need to pump all the money out of Tekken that we can, out of that player base that we can. What was the last game they released? It was some gacha game. It was if you like Google it. I don't like talk about news when it comes to like companies that I play games for all that much. So I didn't really track it, but I'm sure someone knows. I know there were a ton of videos about it back when like the sphere became a thing. I thought I was like, whatever, I don't care about this. Y'all motherfuckers paid for frame data and smiled. I'm just glad you're all, standing up for yourselves now. The community's being like, no, this is too much. I'm glad. I wish that had happened back then, but they had more goodwill, I guess. They've been kind of running. They've been on walking a tightrope, and they're pissing people off more and more and more, which is a problem. It's actually a huge problem.